Hello, hello, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is your favorite podcast, Misunderstood the podcast. And I am your favorite host, Misunderstood. Yay! So yeah, you guys are probably wondering why I'm coming before you dressed like my name is Afua, right? But I've just been in if you know anything about me, like in my personal life, I'm very earthy. Well, I'm working on becoming more earthy, like earthy girl, botanica owner, hoodoo voodoo priestess lady. And so sometimes I feel like when I do my show and I have my wig on and even if I wear my natural hair but like my boobs are out more, I feel like men kind of focus on that more, which is fine, and I'm not gonna do it again. I don't feel like the absence of femininity equals more mother goddess earth. I feel like they work beautifully together. I'm kind of just trying to figure out my style, who I am. And so right now, I'm in my Queen Afua, Mother Earth, Gaia, Queen Oshun, Yemoja, Goddess Oya energy. And so you may see me more often than not rocking like natural hairstyles, makeup free, possibly. I'm not going to say no makeup all the time, but today I just didn't feel it. This is what my spirit is feeling today. You know how people like eat intuitively, based on just how they feel. If they're hungry, they eat. If they're not hungry, they don't eat. If they are hungry, what is it for? With my sense of style and like a lot of other things in my life, I've just been working on that. Like being me by my intuition, not what I'm told or what other people think is right for them or for me, but intuitively what I feel. And so this is how I feel today. Like I took a nap around 11 a.m. If a lot of you guys know, I'm a house manager for an Airbnb. So I woke up early. I took all the trash out, checked out the house, and then I took a nap. I woke back up around like 2, and I just woke up and I started Bantu knotting my locks. As if intuition said, I want to look like this today. I want to look like the last Giddy sculpture. So I come before you as my most authentic, intuitive self, always misunderstood. Nevertheless, let's get this show on the road, guys. So today I have a submission from one of my viewers, one of my listeners, one of my followers, and basically I did let a few people know that I will be allowing for people to submit, things to me, basically kind of looking for like an advice segment of my show. So if you're having an issue in your life, there's something going on, you may not want your friends or family to know, and you want to get some anonymous advice, you can DM me on my Instagram at theofficial.misunderstood. If you want to remain anonymous, 100%, I will respect your privacy. If not, I'll shout you out. My submission today, she is requesting to remain anonymous for reasons that you'll probably see once we get into her submission. So this is going to be a part of the ministry moment. As you guys know, I will always be about self-love. It's just the ministry moment is changing a little bit as the show changes. And with that, I appreciate you guys for your likes, for your shares, your comments, your subscribes, your feedbacks. Please keep it going. I appreciate it. You are valued 100% over here. As I always say, I appreciate you sharing your time and your space with me, because essentially that is our real currency, and for you to share that with me is like beautiful to me. Okay, guys, so let's get into it. So I have my first submission. So this is going to be the first submission on this segment of the show. This is not my first time reading this, but I will be giving my candid advice. So let's get into it. So, dear Misunderstood, woo child, I done played myself, and now I'm writing you full of shame. Please help. So boom. I've been in a committed, unquote, relationship with my boyfriend for about 8 months. He's great on paper. He's career focused, dresses nice. He's a family man, all of that. But emotionally, he's dry. It's like texting a robot, talking with Siri, and he has commitment issues. Okay. So a few months ago, I started messing around with this guy I met at a hookah lounge. It'd be like that. Let's just call him Z. Okay. He was supposed to be a one-time thing, like a sneaky link type of situation, but now we talk every day. We laugh, he listens, and the sex, girl, is spiritual. I'm thinking about it during team meetings. Oh, I know all about that. Distracted. Anyway, so Z and I had a little slip up the other day. We were getting some drinks in public and just being reckless, playing love, and guess who rolls up behind us? My mama. Her mama. She leans up and she says, "Hey, baby girl, who is this fine man you got with you?" And instead of correcting her, Z, the sneaky link, says, "Hey, Miss Cheryl." Huh? Now, when I saw that earlier, that's my mom's name, so that's crazy. He said, "Hey, Miss Cheryl, I've heard a lot about you." Now my mama is talking about that new man of yours is fine, and he seems like a good man. I like this one. Misunderstood. I am now in a full-blown situationship triangle. I got a dry texting boyfriend, a passionate sneaky link, and a nosy ass mama who's rooting for the sneaky link, and I have a guilty conscience that just won't shut up. Do I come clean, keep playing the game until it crashes, or just move to another city and start over? Am I doing too much? Sincerely, no, I'm sorry. Start over with a new name. Sincerely, doing too much in 2 zip codes. Well, child, listen. If you only concerned about your mom, if you've already told her about a man that you've only been dating for 8 months, I feel like you can be honest with her and let her know. I mean, I don't know. I don't really have enough detail. Is she like a religious person? Is she strict? Are you guys free? Do you guys talk about sex? Because if she's the type of parent that you're able to talk about your sex life with and just like your needs and your wants as a woman, I would say let her know. That's the, boyfriend. You've never met him, and one reason why is because he's XYZ, but he doesn't satisfy me. You see what I'm saying? So you can tell her, if she's a cool mom, like I imagine myself being, I would understand that. And then I will give you my advice moving forward as a mother. Like, maybe, have you spoken to the boyfriend about like his dry behavior? If you have, and then you've seen no change, that signals to me that he doesn't give a fuck. And so you need to move around anyway. I understand completely the need for, a human interaction, human touch, human connection. This sneaky link is giving it to you. And then another thing is, for me, I would wonder, why couldn't the sneaky link be a boyfriend? Now, I know y'all met on terms of, he's supposed to be a sneaky link, but I mean, what if he could be more? Right? Like, I mean, obviously the chemistry's there. He's good with mothers. You saw that. So what's stopping you from kind of seeing, like, exploring that? Is he open to a relationship? Is he just fine with being a sneaky link? If that's the case, then you might need to drop the sneaky. You might need to just be in a sneaky. I hate to say sneaky link because nobody's sneaking. Y'all not even sneaking. Y'all not sneaking. Y'all geeking real hard. So you might just need a looser friends with benefits relationship. Or, I mean, the way that he approached your mother, I wouldn't say it's a sneaky link. I feel like you put him in that category, and he may want to be more. Have y'all talked about it? Also, you don't have to be in any situation or relationship that you don't find to be comfortable. So as far as the boyfriend, if it's not meeting for you 100%, it's been 8 months, let it go. You know what I'm saying? That could just be the way that he is. So in conclusion, my advice would be, if you're worried about your mother, you either need to be honest with her. You know your relationship with your mother better than I do. So you would either need to be honest with your mom about who Z is to you and who boyfriend is not to you. And then if y'all don't have that type of relationship, you just need to let it escape her mind altogether. Don't bring anybody up ever again. Don't bring them up. They're gone. They're out of sight, out of mind. Okay? She said she liked the young man. That was it. If she brings him up again, lie. Shit. I don't know. Don't ask me. Don't ask me for advice. I'm going to tell you to lie every time. Every time, lie. Okay, so yeah, I really hope that did help. And yeah, guys, send in more of your submissions. I want to help you guys figure out your problems and combat issues like this. I'm not really going to tell you to lie every time, although I don't think that lying is the worst thing that you could do in a lot of situations. I mean, because what are you going to tell your mom? Like, you don't want to explain it. And if you guys have like a type of relationship where she's really like mothery and she's not like your friend, well then what the fuck are you supposed to do? Just, oh mama, he's gone. We broke up. He doesn't exist anymore. He was a fuckboy. Or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, anywho, submit. You can make your submissions at theofficial.misunderstood on Instagram. Again, I will totally respect your wanting for privacy. I won't release your names, but if you do want me to say your names and the names of the other people in these submissions, I'm more than happy to do that as well. All right, so let's get into this episode, you guys. This is Freaky Friday Part 2. As you know, Freaky Friday was our first audio and visual episode, and so I covered a lot of things in that episode about my dating life, about the people that I meet and the type of men that I like, type of person that I am. And so today I wanted to kind of go deeper into the meaning behind Freaky Friday, because y'all are freaked out. No, this society and this generation is freak. Like, everything is about sex. All of your connections are about, everything is about sex. When you look at social media, when you look at life, when you look at adults, when you look at children, everything is so sexualized. And so I had to sit back and just kind of wonder, where is this coming from? Where is this stemming from? And essentially, I came to the understanding, being a fellow human being, I'm a human like you guys, on Tuesdays and Fridays. Being a human being, I do desire and I crave human interaction, human connection. And for me, it needs to be real. It needs to be real. It needs to be deep. It needs to be blessed by the earth. Right? Like, I desire those real connections where you're just like, this is undoubtedly real. Okay? And so I came to the conclusion that that's what you guys are doing. The vibration in this earth is so low that you guys have externalized your desire for human connection, and you have made it into simply sex. Because if we're looking at things from a spiritual level, sex is the highest form of human connection. It's the highest emittance of energy that humans can make. So when you have an orgasm, not just when you're doing it by yourself, but when it is based off of when it is made from the pool of two humans, or more, because y'all be doing a lot. And that's where it gets excessive. Like, baby, relax. 5 people, an orgy? Y'all not tired? Anywho, when you are pulling energy from another human, when you're sharing, when you're giving, and when you're exchanging, sexual energy exchange, when you are having an energy exchange with another human being, what you emit from that exchange is the highest form of energy that the human body can emit. You actually die. Do you guys know that? There's some, like, I study like Karma Sutra, you know, I study sex. I love sex. The idea that, you know, it's the only way that we can connect, or that it should be used loosely, is what I have a problem with. It's not the sex itself. I think it is a beautiful expression of our feelings for one another. However, like I said, I study sex, and like in French Karma Sutra, they call it like something la mort, because it's the little death. Because when you, I want to say ejaculate, when you come, okay, that takes you up, boom, you die for just a couple of seconds. And that's why when you come back into your body, y'all don't know y'all dead. Everybody's dead. People have killed themselves. The energy is so low. People have killed themselves because you bursted out. That's the highest level of the highest emittance of energy that the human body can make, is when you come. Actually, some people argue that the Big Bang was God coming, and that's how we came into existence. I don't doubt it, because I don't know what's really going on outside of us. So, hey, it could be true. You know, sex is essential, right? Why couldn't God come? We all come. So sex is essential in that way, that perhaps it was we all started with a big bang. We all did, though. Didn't we? In order for you to be here, your mom and dad had to do it, and then there had to be a big bang. We all started with a big bang. So yeah. So I realized that you guys are looking for human connection. But because of the vibration of the earth and the way that things are going, you know, social media and just the perverse mind, it's turned into sex, which creates an illusion of intimacy. So people are really mistaking like physical access for intimacy when it isn't. You guys know just as well as I do, you can have sex with someone and you can walk by them on the street the next day, and sorry to that man, I wouldn't know that man if I see him walking out. I don't know that man, especially if you've been ovulating. Tell me I'm lying. Especially if he calls you on ovulation night. I wouldn't even know myself. I wasn't even myself. That wasn't me. So I definitely don't know you. You were talking to Lilith. That was not me. That was the dark mother. Okay? So it's just like, I don't know if everyone's, I'm not going to say that everyone's not able to understand it, as much as there is an illusion that has been cast upon the people, upon the earth. And so when people are looking for intimacy, they're craving intimacy in their spirit. In the physical, the only thing that they can think of is sex. And so with that, then there comes other spiritual and physical bonds that you really do not want. When was the last time you got tested? When was the last time your friends got tested? People are not getting tested. Recycle. People are not getting tested. They're having babies, making babies, taking Plan Bs. Do you know all this stuff that they've created for us to harm ourselves, and we're using it? Essentially, unless you've been raped or molested, we really shouldn't have a great need for Plan B pills. There is no reason that the abortion pill should be sold in stores, but they got y'all. They gave you access to it as to say, on a spiritual level, we know that you guys are craving intimacy, that you guys are craving connection, but we have built the world up around you so that you're not getting that readily. But what are you getting? You're getting the urge and the desire for connection, and then you're getting people who don't know how to connect, but they know how to have sex. So let's go ahead, everybody, connect that way. We know you're going to do it. That's the easiest way. That's the least thought out. It takes the least amount of work. It takes the least amount of time. Do that. We'll put the pills in store. We'll put the condoms. We'll put the spermicide. We'll put everything. And you guys just go ahead and fuck yourselves to death. Yeah. And you're still feeling empty. You know what fills you up? Plan B pills. And I'm not shaming women. It's just that men can't take Plan B. I don't know what fills them up. I don't. Everything is just so sexualized. I can't get canceled because I don't care. So even with the LGBTQIA plus movement, it's not really about this is who I am as a person and this is the way that I choose to live my life. It's about I like to fuck men and I'm a man. I like to fuck women, and I'm a woman. I'm a man who used to be a woman, and I like to fuck men. I'm a woman who used to be a man, I like to fuck women. It's not about, this is just who I am as a person. It's all about it's a movement about sexuality. It's not a movement about moral. It's not a movement about gender. It's a movement about sexuality. Who do we want to fuck? And when did we start knowing that we wanted to fuck these people? It has nothing to do with, I just feel best this way. This is just who I am. No, it's all built around sexuality. What are the the poppers, the crystal meth, so that we can stomach actually fucking each other. Because otherwise we wouldn't need it, right? But not just shaming that community, because every community has something that they use so that people can just fuck each other. But what people don't understand is that you are desiring human connection. You desire for someone to be there for you when you just want somebody to sit there. When you just want to sit with your own thoughts and just have someone there contributing just their energy, just their presence. You desire community. You desire to have someone to call when you want to laugh. You desire to have someone to call when you want to share that you've had a good day, that you got a raise, that you had a bad day, that your grandma died, that your fish died, that you bought a new dog, that you're thinking about moving to a new city. You desire having someone there when you want to run ideas by someone, and not in a professional way, in a personal way, because we can all find people in our office spaces to run business ideas by. But when it comes to that true intimacy, you desire to be seen, you desire to be loved, and to be loved is to be seen. That is what you desire. That is the intimacy that is real. The illusion that sex is intimacy is what is looming over us, and that is what has society. It's a part of what has society the way that it is. And with sex being such a big part of human nature, then it looks like it's a big part. But it's not the biggest. It is big. And so when I go on dates and, guys are very sexually expressive with me, I immediately go into therapy mode. There's something wrong with you. Did something happen? Because I can see that you're over-sexualized. I can see that this is not normal. Because for me, sex is a healthy act. I don't have any shame about it. I don't need to sneak. I don't need to lie. It's a healthy thing. I'm not desperate for it. It's a healthy act. It's as healthy as taking a shower for me. Because there's nothing wrong with it. one thing that I realized is that people also have sex to kind of feed a negativity that they feel about themselves. And sometimes that can also come with religion being so prominent in a lot of cultures around the world. And one thing that religion will tell you is that sex outside of marriage is bad. I disagree, but I'm also not a religious person. But I also don't have any shame around sex the way that a lot of religious people do, which will cause them to do things in the dark. And then that's what brings about sexual immorality. Telling people that sex is bad is not going to stop them from doing it. It's human nature. If the God who created me didn't want me to come here and live in my nature, they shouldn't have brought me. That's my thing. So what I'm saying is that I know that that's not my God. There's no God that I acknowledge that would say your nature's wrong, right? What my God would say is to make sure that you are expressing your nature properly, okay? I love sex. I think it's a beautiful expression of who I am, what I like to do, where I came from, how I'm feeling that day, how I'm feeling you. And so I don't have any shame about it. You know what I'm saying? And so so releasing the shame around sex, I was raised in a religious household. So one of my ex-boyfriends, he used to ask me all the time, because I'm very free. When I'm in a relationship, maybe, like I said, so maybe we can do it on God's toenails. It doesn't matter because it's free. It's a free thing. We shouldn't be feeling constrained. So he always used to ask me, like, why do you like sex so much? Or when did you realize that you like sex? And for me, I know exactly when it happened, because I was raised in a religious household. I was raised that sex was a bad thing if you weren't married. And then also you weren't even taught how to navigate it outside of that. Barely in marriage. You know what I'm saying? People will just tell you it's bad. You just don't do it. So now you have all these negative connotations around sex. So I'm doing things in a sneaky manner. I'm doing things wrong. I'm doing things in a sneaky manner. I'm doing them wrong. I'm doing them with shame. So then I allow my partner to make me feel ashamed, because, sex is supposed to bring shame. Shame. You're having sex. Shame. As I grew older, I started to ascend on my own journey, on my own path. I left religion, and I had to understand who I am, what it means to be me, why I'm here. I remember I was dating a guy, and I don't know, it was like around my 28th, 29th birthday, 30th birthday maybe. And we had sex, and I remember that something in me clicked, and I realized that I was doing it because I wanted to. Not to keep a man, not to please a man, not to get a man to like me or to buy me something. It was because I wanted to, because I want to feel this, because I want to give you a feeling, but mostly because I want to feel this. So then I started to think, well, what else do I like, as far as like sex? So then I just began to explore and meet myself just how I've met myself in any other way. Who do I want to be? What's my purpose? What's my career? Who am I as a daughter? Who am I as a sister? Who am I as a friend? Who am I as a sexual partner? Who am I as a sexual being? And so when I, got into that, I was able to discover that I like sex. I like it so much. Yeah. Anybody who knows me, like it. Don't be telling my business. You can. I'm not ashamed. Anyway, so I realized that I liked it. And it's not that everyone's going to like it, right? It's just that you don't want to be doing anything that causes you to have shame. You don't want to be doing anything that allows you to stay in an illusion. You are not experiencing real intimacy because of sex itself. Is it a part of intimacy in certain relationships? Absolutely. Absolutely. This is where we connect in a way that we cannot connect with anyone else. Absolutely. But is it in itself, the way that everybody's doing it, first night, on a date, meeting on the app, Tinder, Grindr, is that intimacy? No. You're filling yourselves with lies and more empty spaces taking on and creating and connecting bonds that you're not able to maintain with people that you don't know. That's not what sex is for, guys. And if you would have asked me when I was 23, 24, would I be up here telling people what sex is for? No, because I had so much shame and stigma still around it that I was doing it improperly. I was looking for the connection. I was looking for it. I was craving it so bad. And I thought that by building sexual bonds, I would be able to build love. That I would be seen, that I would be accepted, that I would be held and felt and kept and valued. But as many of you know, sex does not do that. No. And that's why I'm also a person who, you know, they have all these like, okay, this is what you need to do to keep your man. Bend over backwards and bite your left toe and then put your elbow in his knee. Like, all of this stuff is not necessary. If someone is going to love you truly, ethereally, for whom you are, it's not going to be because of sex. They can feel that way about you without ever having had sex. And that's the truth. Ask couples who go into, you know, relationships and they've decided to be abstinent. They get all the way to marriage. It was never, and will never be about sex. Can that strengthen an already established bond? Yes, but to think, you know, that the sex itself is going to sustain any sort of relationships unless it is strictly sexual is not true. And even then, if it is strictly sexual, that makes it much easier for someone to replace you, because there's always somebody turning a new trick, baby. That's why Misunderstood is not about tricks. If somebody's doing something that you, hey, sweetie, listen, you've got to go do what pleases you and satisfy your soul. Because I'm working with what I'm working with, and that's what I'm working with. Either you love it or you don't. You know what I'm saying? Because that's me. And that's not the greatest part of me. So if that's all you're focused on, you may need to find a new muse, because it wouldn't be me. I'm so much greater than that. And so are you guys. And that is the gist of my message today, is that you guys are greater than temporary bonds. You're greater than the illusions that have been cast upon all of us in this matrix system, making you to believe that sex is love, that sex will really allow you to establish the connections that you're looking for. And I do completely understand that a lot of you may not, you know, that's why I'm here, to open people's eyes, to open people's ears, to open people's minds, to open people's hearts, and to open their spirits. I'm going to tell you, this is what you're looking for. You want to be loved, and you want to be seen. You want to be held. You want to be kept. You want to be valued. You want to be appreciated. But sex is not the way to that. As a collective, as a whole, we really need to learn how to harness our sexual energy, for one. Get it under control. Because it's all, if you could see with spiritual eyes the way that things work, the sexual energy, which is your most potent creative energy, is just running wild. And that's another thing, guys. A lot of things that you could be accomplishing and achieving in life, you're fucking off on Saturday night with that dude you met at Tinder. That could be a book. That could be a piece of artwork. That could be a new idea. It's literally your creative energy, and you're shooting fucking bombs over Baghdad, busting nuts all night, when you could be busting out some new creative work. And then if you look at it again from a spiritual point of view, the way that the powers that be have things going, they know this. So they're betting, hoping and betting that you will waste your creative energy on things that don't matter, when the things that you are supposed to be creating will shift the trajectory of this existence. That sex matters. That energy is everything. It is Before science, it was the only way to create human life. It is just as potent still, even though we have other things, which I'm not going to say I'm against those things. People want to have babies or whatever. And I mean, if you know anything about me, pretty much to each his own. Okay. So if they want to have children, they have IVF and all that, make the babies that way. But the old school skin to skin will always work because it is the way. And so the elites are depending on you to blast all your nuts into oblivion and waste all of your creative energy. Therefore, you're not shifting the earth the way that we're supposed to be shifting it. And we're not rising on our timeline when we're supposed to be rising. They want you to get left behind. Because you wanted to bust a nut. Because you want to squirt all over that man's chest. Period. I know it feels... You don't have to tell me. I know. It's so liberating. It's so validating. But we've got work to do within ourselves and within the world. As above, so below, as within, so without. We've got work to do within ourselves so that it can show on the outside. And then on another note, who are you exchanging your sexual energy with? Yeah, think about it. Do you know that person well enough? Do they deserve your creative energy? Did you just exchange $1 million idea for some pizza rolls and a nut? No wonder why you feel empty. Well, again, I'm not here to sex shame. I don't. I'm not saying don't have sex. I love sex. I think it's a beautiful form of expression. Just as we're talking right here, just as we walk, just as we hug each other, it's a beautiful form of expression. But when it is used and abused and there are illusions cast around it, that's when it becomes perverted. That's when it becomes distorted. Okay? And we don't want to distort our sexual energy. It's beautiful. It has a true purpose. That's why we have it. That's why it's so strong within us. That's why it requests of us. That's why it can entrance us, right? They call it like post-nut clarity. Because once the nut comes, then you get back to reality. Because in that trance, you were supposed to be creating something. Or in that trance, you were supposed to learn how to tame that sexual energy, how to tell it, no, I will use you when I say so. Yeah, you can do that. You know, there's all this, I haven't studied too much about it because I'm not a man, not because I'm not a man, because I study for men's sexual health as well, but holding the nut, what is it called? You know, you guys, there's a term. Kevin Gates was saying that he was doing it. Basically just not ejaculating for a certain period of time and how much more creative and energized, one would feel. It's just the truth, guys. And I would challenge you to even try it. So right now for me, I'm doing 30 days no alcohol. So this is the 11th day. Shout out to me. Because y'all know I like to turn up. But this is some throat coat tea for my throat. And so, yeah, what I would challenge you guys to do is try just 30 days. Okay, 15. I don't know. Y'all be horny as hell. Try just 15 days at first. 15 days without sex. And I'm not saying that it's going to be easy. I'm not saying that, especially spiritually, people are going to start calling you. People are going to start throwing pussy at you. They're going to start throwing dick at you. It's gonna be, if you didn't have no options before, oh baby, you're gonna have options, okay? It's not gonna be easy, but do some journaling, do some introspection through this process. Maybe you need to stop going on dates, delete the dating apps. Delete the dating apps. Delete the dating apps. Cause that's like sex central. Y'all just text for 20 minutes and boom, niggas is fucking. What? Stop, guys. We are under attack. We're under attack. Our sacral chakras are under attack. Our wombs are under attack. Your penises, your sperm, your testes, your future, your creativity is under attack. And if you really want to do something about it and you want to feel that emptiness that you are trying to fill up with sexual partners, sexual interactions, do the 30 days. I would say I'm not going to sit here and act like you guys can't do 30 days. Do the 30 days. Challenge yourselves. See what triggers you. Think about, why do I need this, this temporary interaction so bad anyway? Journal. Study about what sex is actually. Study Kama Sutra. Check out your chakras. See what you're actually feeling on a spiritual level. Not just in the physical. Because things happen on the other side before they happen here. Energy is all pulled from the other side. Just like us. We were somewhere before we got in our mom's womb. So I challenge you guys to figure that out for yourselves. Okay? Sex ain't better than love. I've been out here in these streets and I done learned that. No, it's not. It isn't. Trey Songz said it and then he raped that girl. But that's neither here nor there, allegedly. So, yeah. So, and that's because of spirit. So, yeah. So what I would say is just, is do the 30 days. Do some introspection. Put in the comments, whether you feel like you can or cannot do 30 days. And then maybe after the 30 days, even comment and let me know what you guys have found out about yourselves, okay? So I appreciate you being here 100%. Don't forget to make your submissions at theofficial.misunderstood on Instagram. And until next time, guys, please do keep it funky. Peace.